So, hope you had a wonderful couple of days of immersion into H2O, our audience, our customers, our users. How many of you had an overflow error of information? Lots of really good talks. I think some of the highlights from from yesterday, including the visual design talk, really fun talk from Tony. Been waiting for him to speak on that for a long time. Amy had a fantastic talk as well. Lots of good lessons learned there. The unconference, I mean, that was a pretty fun segue from the main stage. I think we'll try and do more of those. Some of you have given feedback about that, to do a little bit more hackathon. How many of you have actually submitted for the hackathon? I see a few hands. Wei is actually on the lead. That's pretty cool. Do you want to talk briefly about your submission? Probably, hopefully if he wins, right?
I think it's mainly about
I guess. Can you? Wow.
I think I participate some of the Kaggle competition before, so I'm familiar with these kind of format. That's why a little bit. I think for this data set, it's mainly about understanding the problem, so-called feature engineering. So I have a physics background, so kind of this problem is it's predicting the wind turbines output given the wind condition. So you have to, I guess the obvious choice is it's also a time series, so you want to see how stable the wind is, so you can build features. Just like in real world problems, you have to understand the problem, then try to come up with appropriate features, or characteristics. In this case, because it's when it's power, so you try to understand what's the stationary information and what the dynamic information may affect the output. So otherwise, just use some algorithm, just like H2O's GBM model, basic tree model. You can do a pretty good job with these kind of problems, but the key factors are how you come up, how you think about the problem, come up with valid and creative features.
Awesome.
By the way, last minute, Brandon and
It's coming to be close here. 946 and 969, right? Brandon. Brandon just joined us much recently, and let's give him his winning mantra. I guess competition still breeds the best out of people, right, Brandon? It's not an award.
What do you want? You can talk to it.
So Brandon joins us. This is his first week at H2O, right?
Yeah.
So it's customary.
Third day.
To speak. If it's your first time at a H2O meetup or a conference, you have to speak. So.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to explain my solution, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was only 4 or 5 variables to start, so you had to do a lot of feature engineering. One of the first features that I engineered was using lag variables for the previous 4 periods, lead variables for the next 4 periods for each of the variables. But then also important to remember that these were wind turbines. It was a wind turbine data set, so we had 10 different wind turbines, and they're all in a field, basically. So some of the data from other turbines can be used to help predict the current turbine that you're trying to predict for. So what I did was I used the other features, the other directions and wind speeds for like turbine 2, and I used that to help predict turbine 1. Then a few other variables, we're using the mean of the last 4 periods and the mean of the lead or next 4 periods, like that. So that was my feature engineering portion of it. Next was just basically tuning a GBM, throwing it in there. And that was kind of the easy part. I used XGBoost for that. And I also trained some H2O GBMs, which were pretty competitive. I was going to blend them, but I kind of ran out of time. But yeah, that's pretty much my solution.
Very cool.
Yep.
And I think a good unconference for next session I would suggest is next season or the next conference is how to win Kaggle, right? Right. While still keeping friends, right? Well, welcome. Thank you for jumping in. When did you start playing? Is it like late this afternoon, right? Pretty much.
No, I started working on it yesterday. When you told me to actually start submitting stuff, I started working on it a little bit more.
Awesome. Well, number 3 on this is Chris. I think I ran into, is he in the audience still? I wouldn't. Chris, yes. Let's give Chris the stage. Maybe you could come over, yeah.
Okay, I just have to basically did the same thing that the other two talked about, just feature selection, realizing that you can use features from the other turbines as well as the past data to improve your model. And then for my final model, I used a cubist model with some tuning parameters from carrots.
Stand up, I guess.
What?
Stand up, I suppose,
Oh.
I guess. We can't see him.
Okay, like that's kind of all I did. It was just mostly feature selection and then a little bit of time spent on tuning the model.
Where are you right now? How did you get into data science?
I actually came from professional poker, and then now I'm working at an insurance analytics firm.
Love it. Professional poker. We need a lot of poker faces. Out of curiosity, how did Brandon get into data science?
I'm not getting into data science. Well, basically, I was working for a home warranty company.
The mic, please, sorry.
So I was working for a home warranty company doing kind of insurance type stuff, and that kind of led to me doing forecasting, trying to predict claims costs and predict what contracts were going to place claims and stuff like that. So that kind of got me into learning data science. That kind of led me to competing in Kaggle competitions, which I started doing a lot a year ago, and I started doing pretty well at it. So I kept learning more and more data science. That's basically how I got into it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Fantastic. I would like to invite all the 1, 2, 3 folks onto stage, and let's give them a big hand. It's called Mark Landry. Mark will present them the prize, right? The winner. Let's go to Brandon, of course. And well, Mark chose Brandon like hardly 2 weeks ago, right? So your choice probably stands vindicated, which makes sense. You're a winner.
Yeah, and this is a fun problem for me, I guess. This is actually a real problem. This is going to be an open data set in forecasting. So I solved this. I didn't participate because it would be cheating, because I actually did an energy forecasting for IEEE on this data set. So I know it pretty well, and it's funny to hear some of the features that they use. I mean, that's all spot on, and those are the kind of things that we wanted to drag out of this. And it was intentionally kind of a narrow data set for that reason. So congratulations, everybody. Brandon, the private leaderboard winner. So.
Perfect. And please stick around. one thing we didn't announce was that we're probably going to hire the first 3 people, and unfortunately, Brandon's already hired. So, very welcome to H2O at some point. And Chris, let's chat after. So, that was a fun data hackathon in disguise. We joining a fantastic, fun startup like ours is always going to be a lot of roller coaster, but it's really fun. So, welcome to our community. At the same time, hopefully, we'll have a future hackathon where maybe folks from the audience can participate and win and be part of our journey. So, thank you.